Basically, the passport bros are mad because a lot of the foreign women that they're trying to go and seduce and bring to America are basically using them for their money, or basically see right through them.
You know that you're thinking about? Does he have a wallet?
No.
And in that wallet, does he have money?
No.
Oh, okay. Have a good day.
If he ain't paying.
Once again, they're not sending their best soldiers out to battle. They won't do it for some reason. Wild camp over there.
And all them bills, he can't say nothing. Okay? Nothing, because he's just a roommate.
If you make $38,000, you need to be handy. You need to know how to light bulb and put a fan up and put on a light switch. If you make $38,000 a year, you better cut the grass. You better wash dishes, cook food, wash clothes, fold. I mean, everything.
I mean, like the caption said, does the same apply to women? I mean, because if men were to men make more already. So if a man is already making more than you, does the same apply to you? That's what we got to figure out. So if a man says, you just came from working at McDonald's, I found you at Arby's, get in there and clean those dishes. Well, I have some say so in this house. No, you don't. Go over there and unload that dishwasher. Does the same apply, or is that oppression?
I'm adding myself. So that's all I have for you. I don't have anything to bring to a table.
You can't afford to date, don't date. I'm sorry if you got used and abused by some woman who just used you for a free meal. That really just comes with part of the dating territory. Like, I get it, you're jaded.
What? They say a lot of stupid stuff.
But what does that have to do with me? Like, I'm sorry, you need to use better discretion. That has nothing to do with, like, women in general. Don't penalize the next chick just because you took the wrong chick out to eat.
I mean, fair, but once again, you can't just say it comes with the territory. What is that?
And you know what? If you're just like, hey, I don't want to be spending this much money on dates, that's fine. Take a break from dating. Re-up your money. Go donate some plasma. Do whatever you got to do, because I'm just not
going to date you. You're not that cute. You're not cute enough to be talking reckless like this. No disrespect.
Out to go on some cheap date to like Applebee's or Fridays because you mad at the old chick who used you for a free meal. Use discernment. If you don't have it, pray for it.
This is satire. I firmly believe that's satire. And this is the kind of grief after they talked all that trash. This is the kind of grief that they give to the passport bros. Go ahead over there. They don't want you. Oh, okay, well, let me go then. Leave me alone. Interesting. Oh, he's gay now.
What you trying to be? I want whatever you want. I'll beat you the fuck up. What you trying to be? If you really fuck me, what you trying to be? It's whatever. I'm trying to be. Say somebody know it. One thing, and I'm gonna rock this shit. Rock your shit again.
They can talk a lot because there's a barrier right there. But once again, these modern women don't really know and understand the power of a man. And for that, you know, pride as a man, when people talk to you like this, pride kind of wells up inside of you and says, yeah, well, you about to know what I got going on. But I'm glad that a lot of men exercise restraint, because this woman, if that man really got up and he don't even have to do his worst, just going at about 25% of his power and speed, this would be an absolute problem for her.
The biggest issue with these passport bros aren't that they're getting passports and going to find the love of their life. I think when it starts to be kind of weird is when you only date people outside your country, right?
Well, they're doing it only because, well, do I even need to explain? I mean, look at you. If a man says, I want a woman that's not into crazy stuff, she don't dye her hair like this, she does normal, everyday people stuff, like a normal wife, he's going to pick her 10 times out of 10 over you.
If a passport bro were to say, oh yeah, I only date Asian women, right? That is a fetish. That's That's not a passport bro, right? Passport bros are people who specifically go from.
So is that a fetish if modern women say, I only date 6'5" men over 6 foot? Is it a fetish if they say, I only date men with 6 figures, 50K in the bank account?
Country to country to country, trying to find women, exotic flavors,
exotic flavors. Based on that alone, that's why they would be dating them, because you don't have any flavor. You don't have any spice. That's why they would be going and talking to them. You don't have anything that a man wants
to dabble in, right? It really starts becoming weird when you go to third world countries or countries that are not as advanced as ours and start telling women that you're going to marry them so that and a lot of these women are desperate, so they're going to take you up on that offer, right?
But you're not advanced though. Y'all don't know how to cook. A lot of these modern women don't know how to cook and clean. They don't know how to do anything. So is that really advanced? Or are we finding somebody that knows how to do basic, everyday chores and duties?
And in a way, it's kind of manipulative, right? They want someone who is going to be submissive to them. And what better way to find someone who's submissive to them than to find a woman who is at your beck and call? Because, you know, the only reason she's in the United States is because of you. Sounds to me like a lot of...
Well, yeah, I mean, because she likes me. So she decided to come live with me like normal, traditional women used to. She's at your beck and call, and I'm at hers. We listen to each other. We're there for each other, unlike modern women. So, and it's not like, first of all, we're serving each other. We're doing for each other. I can't say the same if I were to date somebody like you. I wouldn't be able to guarantee that would happen.
Control issue, right? And to be honest, ladies, these aren't the type of men that we want anyway. These men want a woman that they can control.
Feelings mutual.
Because they can't find it here in America because it's frowned upon to like own a human. They go to other places in the world where they can legally own a human.
She is
what? The thing about modern women that you have to understand is they're going to make up stuff and then they're going to exaggerate it. That's where false claims and allegations and accusations come from.
I got something to say about the fact that I got 6 kids with 6 different men. So I'm just gonna tell y'all why it is better to do it this way. If I had 6 kids with all the same dude, I get 34% of his income, which is only $680 a month. Mm-hmm. If I got 6 kids with 6 different dudes, I get 17% from each one of them, which is $340 a month from each one. $340 a month times 6 baby daddies is $2,040. So
you're still gonna have to get a job. You still gonna have to get off your behind and go get a job. You're still gonna have to work.
Why don't you have 6 baby daddies?
And she sees no.
I mean, that last woman in the last clip was saying that the women overseas were beneath her. We're far more advanced than them. With this type of logic, I'm not so sure.
Be good at cook, in cleaning. Also, I will serve you.
Oh my God, get out of here, sis. With that. Over here in the West, we don't play that, okay? We're strong, independent queens who don't need no man. What you talking about serving?
I could offer my whole self. No secrets and all. Loyalty, faithfulness, everything.
And look how they're dressed, man. Look how they're dressed. Nicely. Covered up. I mean, even if they weren't wearing that, but they were still covered up, a man would appreciate that. He appreciates these women to a man. This is beautiful to a man. Oh man, I like this. This is fantastic. She's not showing the world what she has to offer. She'll show me because we're in a committed relationship.
That could make him happy.
You ever hear a Western woman talking about how she's going to make her man happy? No. Oh. You know what we hear from the West? What a man can do to make me happy. What a man can bring to the table for me. What I can benefit. How I could spend his money.
This is why Western women is mad, because look at her, she's pretty and she's a housewife and she takes care of 2 kids.
It's not our fault. They even say that we steal their man. No, we don't steal your man. Do your man come in here?
Low blows.
It's not a low blow. It's facts. It's facts. I'm coming over here to get something that I need. I need a wife. I need a woman. I need a woman that knows how to act right. That's what I'm coming over to get. These modern women, I can't get that from them. They don't want to do it. So I decide, instead of messing with you, instead of continuing to approach you, while y'all are asking, where did all the men go? If y'all continue to ask that question, let me tell you what, y'all can find it if y'all y'all start working at Delta, y'all start working at American Airlines, Southwest. Y'all start working at some of these airlines to see where these men are going. See how many times their passports have been stamped, and you'll find your answer.
They're just clowning Western women right now.
Once again, not really. Not really. They're just telling the truth.
So what do you suggest the women in the West do if everyone's advice is for men in the West to look elsewhere for a wife? What happens to all the women in the West then?
Well, that one study we referenced that said by 2030 or something, 50% of the women will be without a man. So that's the direction we're heading, because the men that are looking for those traditional values are starting to go overseas, and then the other half of the men are just checking out completely. They don't want to do it.
And the women don't care. They're saying, well, the happiest demographic is single and childless women. And there's, I think there was a new article that said the fastest growing demographic is single and childless men. So y'all are talking about single men are lonely, single and childless men are lonely, and they're fast approaching you. So you can't say there's a loneliness, a male loneliness epidemic. Because a man is saying, wait a minute, no, I'm good. Men are starting to speak out and say, nah, I'm all right. I'm calling you for vacation. I'm all right. Me and my boys at the game. We chilling. You know, this will be how, I mean, we got season tickets. We didn't been coming to the game. We good. Hey, bro, let's go fishing. Let's go golfing. Let's go hunting, bro. You got anything? No, I ain't busy. Let's do it. So this type of stuff, y'all said y'all didn't want a man. Y'all said y'all didn't want to be around men. Y'all said y'all didn't want men to approach. Okay. I'm going overseas to see what I can find, because I want a woman, and I'm going to find. Y'all forgot that men were hunters. That's what they are. And so they say, if I can't find nothing to eat, depending on what you're trying to eat, if I can't find nothing to eat over here in the West, I'm going to look elsewhere. And a lot of modern women are upset about that.
Women at all. So this is going to be a big issue that women are going to deal with in the future as their options dwindle.
My suggestion.
Dwindle. I appreciate you saying that, because that's exactly what they're doing. As soon as they become boss babes, all that is going downhill.
Into the passport bros, like they're getting women from like the DR, Colombia, the Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education, women that need them, women that need them.
Women are raised to be wives. Mm-hmm. They learn everything from birth.
This man Michael Bublé, not saying that there was an issue with his country, with Canada. Well, he depended on where he was, but this man, I think, met his wife on a video shoot. She didn't speak, not really a whole lot of English. She didn't speak a whole lot of English. He learned to speak her language so he could communicate with her, and then married her. So first of all, these women know English. Second of all, even if they didn't, if a man is motivated enough and this woman provides him peace, this man is going to learn that language. Oh, for real.
From their father, from their mother, how to be a wife and how to support your man.
Women that need them.
It's not even women that need them. It's women that treat them with respect.
So we don't.
That's it.
Y'all know y'all don't.
Stop yourself.
That's not true.
First of all,
you don't. They be acting like they be serving their man. They don't. You don't be treating that man with respect.
Straight. You have been telling men for years that you don't want them, you don't need them, they don't meet your standards, that they don't treat you right. You can pay for your own hair, you can pay for your own nails, you can afford your own home, you can afford your own car, and are good for nothing. You're strong, you're independent. Then you get mad when these men go to another country to actually find a woman that has the qualities that they are looking for in a wife.
I'm saying.
Make it make sense. I also want to talk about why this mindset that so many Western women have.
That girl say I wasn't done. Let me go ahead and change my shirt and cook a little bit more.
Is actually extremely problematic, Because not only are you putting down the men who are going overseas with pure intentions, you're also putting down the women from these other countries solely off of the fact that they were not brought up in a Western culture.
Because of your preconceived notions, because of your ignorance, is really what it, I mean, and when modern women talk like this, when they say these things, they're literally showing their ignorance. Literally showing their ignorance. They don't think they are, but that's exactly what they're doing.
Because you're calling them uneducated, you're calling them poor, you're calling them weak,
I mean, just say you hadn't been to the country without saying you haven't been to the country.
Calling them vulnerable. You're creating a superiority complex where you are at the top and women from all these other countries are at the bottom. Now let me tell you something. If you were really superior, the men would not be leaving.
That's it.
And you would not be single.
Damn! Sensational.
Sensational. That last part.
Sensational. That's it. It's taking women from different walks of life, even if they're not from overseas. There's a lot of women that come to the United States and a man sees, oh, she's from a different culture. I go and see her family. I visit her family. All of her family might have come over here, and she's been in the U.S. from a young age. So she knows the U.S. Or the American culture or the Western culture, but she still lives in a strong family that they retain their culture. And so she's saying, yeah, I know what they do out here in America, and I kind of work within that frame. But for myself, who I am, off the clock, I would say, I still go back to my roots in who I am. And most men have said to modern women, this is okay to do. I understand if you have to move a certain way in the world, but when you come home, don't be trying to give me that same attitude. Modern women heard that. They said, you're manipulating me. You're trying to control me, and I'm going to be all up in your face. I'm going to talk to you any kind of way I want to, and I'm going to do everything you ask me not to.
Get our passports, bro. They don't appreciate us here.
It's an opportunity for them to go in search of spouses who they feel are going to be more subservient to them and do what they want, basically some sort of indentured servitude.
It's easier for these men to go overseas, get one of these victims.
A lot of these passport bros are exploiting a power imbalance economically.
What's the imbalance? Like, if they're in their own country, the woman don't have to leave. What power imbalance? Y'all act like the men are going over there and dragging these women back. These women can make their own decisions. I can see if y'all saying, well, you know, some of these ladies, they're only looking for a green card, or they're only looking to get married to an American man for this benefit and that benefit. But y'all make the mistake of thinking that these women can't make their own decisions. This is foolishness.
Y'all are taking advantage of these women.
If you feel that you need to go to Antarctica to marry a polar bear,
but they're still doing the, oh, we're just going to leave and go to another country and find women, or you're going to die alone. Good luck dying alone with your cats.
Get a polar bear.
Yeah, it is much easier for these passport bros.
After seeing these women talk about it, I can see why. After seeing the women that are talking about this type of stuff, I can kind of see why the men are going overseas.
To go to other countries and exploit younger, more impressionable, less educated or uneducated girls living in poverty.
You know why? Because we don't.
You know, this makes me feel like these women are watching, like, you know, those late night commercials or these infomercials where they're saying for 60 cents a day, you can feed a child. It makes me think that all these women watch is that. All they see is that sort of commercial sort of thing. And so they think these women are less than, they're unfortunate. And, you know, these men are coming over and basically selling them some sort of dream. And because the women are so desperate to get out of these save a child lifestyles, then they'll say anything and they'll do anything for the man.
Don't care. Look, we don't care.
We do not.
I don't know.
They're getting women from like the DR, Colombia.
Yes. Wait. Excuse me? Uneducated? Girl, have you been to the Philippines? Filipinos are very smart. And a lot of Filipinos are nurses, teachers, doctors, lawyers, and you're calling us uneducated?
These women and men from these cultures, they push these young men and young women hard. They work them hard. Hey, you're going to get over here and you're going to go get an education. The mom and the dad, they know I'm probably not going to be able to make it to the quote unquote American dream. But I tell you what, I'll be darned if my kids don't. And a lot of times these kids that come from different places outwork and excel. They simply excel just by outworking a lot of people in general, but these modern women, they outwork them. That's it. And they learn the language, they learn the culture, like I said, and they still keep their culture, but then they know how to navigate in the American way of life. And when they get done with it, they just go home and continue with their own culture. And that's why man says, I see that, I respect that, I want to be a part of that. You got your head on straight. Maybe there's some things that I don't understand about your culture. I want to learn more. Why don't you and I get together over some coffee, over a dinner, and see what we can find out about each other?
Do some research, girl. Okay?
Guys are going across the country to find Filipina slaves. Girl.
What did I do today?
You cooked dinner. You went to the grocery stores before and got all the groceries to cook dinner. And you cleaned up the whole room, and put all my clothes away without me asking.
I mean, and she got her nails done. She got a little earrings. She got her hair done. She got her makeup done. So it looked like she got some expression there. But it looks like she can pretty much do what she want to do. But she understands responsibility. That's what y'all are calling responsibility and accountability oppression. They just calling it basic work, basic adulting.
Asking for it.
And do I feel like I'm a slave? No. Because what did you do today?
What I do? I bought Starbucks. I took out the trash when I saw you struggling with it. You were going to try to take it out yourself. And, I got your nails done the other day.
So it's not a game of who does more for who. It's about thinking what the other person needs and doing it without them having to ask for it. And even if I do just the little things for him, he's always so surprised and appreciative. Which makes me wonder what's going on over there in America. And mind you, we're not taking them away from you. They're coming to find us.
The only reason an Asian woman would marry you is because of the prospect of a better life.
You go find a wife.
The woman was just in, she sounded like she was still in her country. It sounded like she stayed in her country. These modern women got something going on with them, man. I'm telling you.
In the Philippines or Thailand or wherever these places are that are overseas.
She don't even know. She just yapping. Or wherever these places are. They've got a certain mindset or a certain list of countries in their head that they think men are going to. And these men don't got nothing to do. They don't. This is the problem that y'all are having. This explains or displays perfectly. Y'all don't understand what's going on in the life of men. Y'all don't know where they go. Y'all don't know what they're up to. But yet y'all are still talking about they're not equipped to have a good woman. You don't even know because you don't know what a man is doing or what a man wants. You only know what you want him to bring to the table.
They're just happy to be rescued from their poverty-stricken life of no opportunity.
You may or may not be able to speak English properly.
And if you want to call us uneducated and poor, that we will get any opportunity we can get just so we can get out of poverty. Men are supposed to be providers, so they are going to provide for their future partners and family. The bottom line is, we have what they are looking for. I don't understand where is the rage from these women coming from. Why are they even surprised their men leaving when they are the one who is causing it?
I can cook, I can clean.
Uh-oh! Yeah, see, this is why I came to Thailand, to find a traditional woman. Uh-oh! See, in the United States, women don't cook and clean. All they do is complain. And we don't got time for that. That's why I got my passport. and I've left.
Look at this beautiful couple right here. You understand me? Look at that smile. But guys, let's be honest. A young brother like this in the States, you could tell he's exceptionally forward regarding his intentions of wanting love and wanting a family. In the States, a man of his personality, characteristics, and traits will be labeled as a lame, would be labeled as corny, as reasons to disqualify him. But instead of dealing with the bullshit, my young brother went abroad and found himself a nice little tenderoni abroad.
They said move around. Go where you're loved. Go where you're wanted and appreciated. Men started doing that, and they decided to shame the man for it. That's crazy work.
Traveling overseas to find wives in other countries.
If men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood. And I don't think that that is a good thing.
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
When a man wants to find a woman with traditional values in another...
What was... Be more specific as to why they're not a good dude. Well, they're pervy. Well, what makes them that way? Why would you say that? What characteristics and traits are they exhibiting for you to say that? You probably don't have an answer to that because that's not what they are. You're just trying to label them something to make yourself feel better about not getting picked.
It's called It's Perfectly Normal. I'll read some of this for you. It says, after a bit, a person's it becomes moist and slippery, and it becomes hard. After a bit, a person's becomes erect, stiff, and larger. Sometimes a bit of clear fluid that may contain a few sperm comes out of the tip of the and makes it wet.
Can we, sir, I'm sorry.
Was it something I said? If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? We have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs, but you don't want me to read it. Why? Does it bother you? Yes or no? You can't answer that question. You want to know why? Because politically speaking, you can't say that it's wrong. And you don't want me to read the filth because it exposes the truth. How dare you tell me to stop reading it? If you don't want to hear it, why should the children have to see it?
Pastor,
and this is what men continue to say. I'm going to raise children with you. I'm going to have babies with you. I want my babies to learn a certain way. I want them to believe a certain thing. This is why they're going overseas. It's the whole entire package. Beauty, brains, and they also have morals. They also have some sort of guidance. So back to the point that I was making about they come over and they understand the American culture. They enjoy the fruits of it. They work hard. They enjoy the food, the activities, the entertainment, all of that. But I don't adopt the attitude. It's like essentially going as, man, I really like a Snickers, man, let me go ahead and get a Snickers. But I don't eat a Snickers every day. I eat it every so often because I like the candy. I like the sweetness of it. I indulge every so often. But on the whole, my life is pretty much balanced. My life is pretty much the same, right? So this is what men are looking for. You might go out here and there, but you still know how to be disciplined. You still know how to not ruin your life, not essentially embarrass your husband. This is what Pastor's talking about here. Y'all got this stuff and y'all are teaching my kids. Y'all are teaching these people this type of stuff. I don't want that. Men are continuing to say, y'all are trying to make me accept this type of attitude. I don't want that. I'm not going to accept that. I'm going to go try to find somebody that understand what's going on. They don't have their head in the ground, their head in the sand, as my dad says. They're up and they see what's going on, but I'm not going to be having my kids or this nonsense in my household. I don't want it.
I just came to the realization why I'm single. Every guy that I'm like, oh yeah, he's attractive. Okay, this is not supposed to be offensive, but I see their wives and they just look like so like, you know, like not like this, just like, you know, like I pretend my tattoos are gone. Dude, I look crazy. Like, that's why guys don't want to wife me up.
No, it might have something else to do with you. You know, it might not necessarily be that you're fit, because guys like fit women. It might be something other that you're not doing, or places that you might not even look approachable. I mean, you look fine right now, but you might not be approachable.
And I just come to this realization today. See? I thought these men wanted, like, you know, big, strong, tough girls.
Why would he want that? I mean, why would a man want that? Why would he want you to be acting like a dude? You know what I mean? Like, that's not... He doesn't want somebody to wrestle with. Well, maybe he does. It depends.
I don't know. I feel like all of them are like super girly, and all these guys are like, yeah, that's my
so
girl.
Feminine.
She's like housewife stuff, and I'm over here like, I own my own business. I'm covered in tattoos. I'm a little spazzy, but that's okay. We embrace it. But yeah, I don't think any guy's gonna wife me up because they can't take me seriously. And I just realized that. Damn.
I mean, if you're saying things like, they're not taking me seriously because I own my own business, then maybe you might be putting too much stock in owning your own business. A lot of modern women make this their personality.
So this is for the single people. I've been thinking, like, the last few days, like, I can just not imagine ever being with someone ever again. Like, how do you get to that stage of even, like, meeting someone and then, like, all of a sudden you're just, like, hanging around with them every day? Like, how does that even happen? Like,
well, I mean, you guys are friends. This is why men don't date anymore, because modern women, you know what? This is an answer for you. When you go on a date with a man and he says, so what do you bring to the table? Maybe one of the things that you could say is, I bring companionship. I bring true friendship. I know there are a lot of people out there that don't really have that. And I'm looking for a friend. And I know a man, and not in the sense of wanting to be like platonic friends, but I'm looking for, obviously, my romantic partner, but I'm looking for a friend. I would like to hang out with my man and see what he does and take interest in that, and vice versa. And I would like to share my life with a man. I mean, why don't y'all start saying that and see how far you go? It may work, it may not work, but why not just start with a genuine value offer to the man?
I don't know whether, like, I'm just going through, like, this phase or, like, this stage of, like, a breakup, even though it was, like, months ago, but, like, I just can't envision it. Like, I just don't think I'm ever going to meet anyone. Like, I'm totally fine being on my own forever, but, like, is this a thing? Like, do people still meet people, or are people just going to be single forever now? Like, I just don't get it.
As a childless woman in my early 40s, I'm constantly thinking about my retirement and what that looks like. And it's always the same, no matter what. And it has been since my 30s, which is to live in a hut or a well-framed cabin in the woods with a community of women. And we all just, like, grow our own food, make our own preserves, read books, fix everything ourselves.
Like there was like a study, or like a little competition, like maybe Bear Grylls did this or something like that. And the women failed miserably. They failed miserably. They couldn't cook anything. They couldn't even decide on a direction to go. I mean, forget cooking, forget building and fixing things. They couldn't even get started.
Have coffee together in the morning, drink wine at night, have a bunch of cats and dogs and chickens and goats, maybe some horses, pigs, whatever. And then we do really weird shit at night that makes everyone scared to come up to our property and just leaves us alone forever until we all just die in our beds.
So basically, Lacey, y'all talk about, this is essentially a hangout. This is a hangout is what this is. You're not really doing anything. For a lot of these ladies, this is utopia. I guess she's saying, I wish I could do this. This is not reality. Things are going to break. You're going to be stunned by it. And then you're just going to say, well, come stay with me. And then they're going to stay. And then the place that they were staying will never get fixed. And then another hut is going to break. Y'all still won't be able to fix it. Y'all hadn't figured it out yet. And then it will be 3 people in one hut. It's going to get pretty tight in there. Y'all might try to divvy it up. Y'all might try to be nice. But at some point in time, the passive aggressive nature of you guys is going to come out. And there's going to be issues.
That sounds like a pretty good retirement.
Men don't want the issue with modern men and modern women in the dating arena is that there are so many modern men that want traditional women without having to be traditional men. What am I talking about? Let me let him explain.
And typically in an Arab household, the man usually is the provider financially, and that's just how it is.
That is just something I wasn't prepared for.
Well, I know what she's probably about to try to say, but she's probably going to leave out context when she gets back to the clip. Well, listen, this is the way it is in an Arab household, so you men are not ready for that. No, what you're going to leave out is that there is a certain way that you're not going to listen to or describe. There's a certain way that these households go. They are actually taking care of the kids. They are actually cooking and cleaning. And if they don't, I think there was, it was an Arabic video clip where a man, I think the woman said, if you want a maid or a house cleaner, then hire them because I'm not doing that. Or she said, basically, I'm not doing that type of stuff. So what are you going to do then? And he said, I'm going to leave you. Basically, I'm going to divorce you, and then I'll hire them and then put them in your place. So what you're talking about, it's going to get done. Men are going to figure out a way around it. But I already know what she's about to say.
Most Arab women expect that.
Just like most American people expect the woman to contribute half. Or not half, just contribute.
But you're not dealing with an American woman.
No, but she'd have to deal with some of my things though too.
Talk to her.
This was definitely not what I wanted to hear.
Talk to her.
I thought Moroccan women prioritize family over material things. And I was not anticipating that it would mean I have to be the sole provider for a household. I didn't sign up for this.
I think that just has to deal with her culture. That's what it is.
So what do you mean you weren't prepared to be a sole provider? Like, who raised some of these men? They are so adamant that they want a traditional woman, but they also want that traditional woman to be modern enough to men that want traditional women without having to be traditional men. What am I talking about? Let me let him explain.
And typically in an Arab household, the man usually is the provider financially, and that's just how it is.
That is just something I wasn't prepared for.
Where did he say that he was wanting to be traditional? They were having a conversation, and she probably let him know. What was probably the context is she probably said, hey, this is what I'm expecting. And he said, oh, well, I was expecting X and you're expecting Y. Normally in America, well, I'm not American, basically. That's my culture. So she's going to have a little trouble here because she's expecting him to bend to what she wants. And that's not necessarily going to be the case. You're going to have or provide some sort of balance. You're basically asking him, she's got a problem. You're going to basically ask him to come over to your side and do exactly what you want, which is why men stay single. You're going to want him to do what you want him to do, but you're not going to go to what his side is, basically. So he's looking for like 50-50. You're looking for you provide totally. So what is the middle ground here? If there is no middle ground, then we don't need to be together. But I'm not sure where he said he was looking for something traditional, unless it was in a previous clip.
To be modern enough to expect to have to pay bills. This man goes on to say that he wants an independent, financially independent woman who will have his kids and clean and be submissive and all these other things. Why would she do all of that? Like, you realize that the women in here in America won't even take that deal. So they get their passports and they globe trot all over the world trying to find a woman vulnerable enough, desperate enough, in search of citizenship enough to take that deal. This is predatory behavior.
You do know that some of the men just stay over there, right? So there's not going to be any of that wanting to come to America. They just stay over there with their wives and they just live over there. You guys really don't problem solve, do you? Like, you guys really don't think critically. Not a lot.
Behavior. When you're looking for a woman who wants to have access to the benefits and the perks and the rights that we have as Americans, because they don't have those rights in their country, but you're going to make her earn it. She's going to have to earn it by you making a mule out of her, expecting her to do more than you're doing. So why should she do all of that for your 50% of the bills? Like, the deal isn't being accepted by American women, and you're realizing that it's not going to be accepted by women in other countries either, because it's a bad deal and you know it. And oftentimes these women in other countries, they're going to expect you to send money back home to their parents and their siblings and their families back home. Like, you think that you're saving money. You're trying to find a good woman for a discount by shopping all around. But she's also going to expect you to provide for her as well.
Well, this is what you don't seem to understand. There are clear guidelines for the relationship, and most men, once they know the guidelines, will work towards that goal and that guideline. They'll stay within it. If there needs to be something that's in there that's modified, then they'll talk to their wife about it, and the wife will say, okay, here's my piece, this is what I think, and the man will sit back and analyze it and say, okay, this is the best possible way forward. Maybe we can't send money now because we're trying to do X, and maybe we can actually send like a little bit, but we can't send this much. This is all we can do. And the woman will say, okay, mama, daddy, brother, sister, this is all we can do. John is working a lot, and we're trying to take care of this over here. And she understands, well, this is my family, and this is exactly what it is. That's what I'm talking about. You kind of merge the two cultures together. You have an understanding of what each other is expecting. You do that before you get married, but sometimes it doesn't really come, like you don't know, you're not going to know everything before you get married. And so when you get to that bridge, you got to cross it. And so you sit there, you talk it out, you discuss it. And sometimes it's going to be hard to come to an agreement. But if you really love each other and you are really committed to each other, then you'll sit there and figure out how to get there, and you'll both be better and you'll both grow for it. You're thinking that men are supposed to lay down and just, well, what are you going to do in this? Figure it out. What are you going to do when you have to do that? I'm going to figure it out, like I always do. That's why you're sitting in that house right now, because a man figured it out. That's why you have a camera right now, because a man figured it out. It's not rocket science. Well, actually, sometimes it is, but you get it.
Once you expect a woman to have your child and her ability to work like your ability to work is changed, you're going to have to provide for that woman.
Once again, the child is always going to be there. Get out of jail free card. Oh, I had a child. Our child is 10 years old. You have not been back to work, and you haven't really done anything around the house except maybe cook a meal once a week. What else do you bring to the table?
When you want her to stay home, how's she going to stay home and work 40 hours a week? Like, some of you have no idea what you're asking. Or maybe you do, but you don't care. Why should she run herself into the ground? And what does she get? A discount on bills? A discount. Because you're not even willing to pay the whole thing. Like, you want provider benefits without having to actually be a provider. You let somebody speak long enough and they'll tell you everything you need to know.
That is true enough, listening to you.
And the men are beginning to say the quiet part out loud. We weren't expecting to take care of any woman. American woman, a woman overseas. We were expecting a servant.
No, I mean, statistically speaking, most people in America go 50-50. What are you talking about right now?
A lot of these guys are saying y'all are going to end up lonely and single, but at least we're not bringing more Dusties into the world. By the way, I'm married and I have 2 daughters, so I didn't bring no Dusties into this world.
I mean, you're married to a man that you don't really care for, it seems like. So your marriage seems to be, so far in my opinion, a sham.
Thank goodness, because I didn't marry a Dusty. But at the same time, women don't want to bring more dust into the world that you can't even afford to take care of, guys. They don't want to marry a man they got to make excuses for instead of brag on. Okay. So I'm sure a woman would rather be single than to sit there and make up excuses for her loser husband or whatever. Okay.
You know, I find it funny. They talk about making excuses for their dusty or loser husband. Modern women are never satisfied with anything. So they're going to be making excuses for the man. They're always going to be uncomfortable with something. Well, no, he didn't mean it, or he didn't. That's just the way he jokes when he might say something that everybody's laughing at. They're uptight. They're overbearing. They're controlling. These modern women they're borderline manipulative. Actually, they are manipulative with their words. Period. End of story. I just talked to a few people, and I just talked to my friends, and just the way you said that, it kind of seemed off to us. Which friends are you talking about specifically? Because everybody was laughing. Oh, it doesn't really matter. I really want to put their name out there. Well, you put my name out there to them, so it's only fair that I get a shot at learning who said this about me. Oh, well, it's not really important. Control and manipulation. So this, oh, well, I don't want to explain, or I don't want to have to make corrections or kind of watch over. You don't have to. You just do it because you think that you're more mature than the man, when really it might be the opposite way. You're just uptight. Nobody can really have fun around you.
So don't think that women not marrying is an indication that they're unwanted, because women get proposals all the time. They just have to turn them down because they're dusty proposals, or they're proposal from men who aren't going to meet their standards. Okay. So they got to turn down a lot of proposals from dust. Okay. And it's easy to turn down proposals from dusties because all you have to do is close your eyes and imagine your life in 2 years from now, and it's going to be worth.
Well, I guess my question would be, why are you turning down proposals left and right from dusties? Like, are we talking about marriage? Why are you in a relationship with a dusty for that long? Even if you say, I've only known this man for 6 months and he proposed this in 6 months. Why are you in a relationship that long with him?
Worse than it is right now. So that's why they quickly say no. They say, I can't do this. Nope. And they don't end up marrying, these type of men because they don't want to repeat the poverty cycle or, lower their standards to be with somebody who thinks, living mediocre or in poverty is okay. So
these women are in debt themselves. They're in debt.
No to struggle love. Exactly. You said Walmart promise rings. Exactly. They're saying no to them Walmart rings. They're saying no to struggle love. They're saying no to dusties. So y'all go marry somebody who need a green card, and y'all make the best of it while it lasts.
If these women,
y'all talk all this trash, and y'all be eating at McDonald's Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday. And y'all be eating ramen noodles. Actually, it's flipped. Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday, y'all are eating ramen noodles. Y'all are broke. It'd be one thing, it's like, man, I really enjoy these things, but this is the only thing that you can eat because you don't have any money. That's it. This is the only thing that you can eat. And then when you get paid, I think I'm going to take myself out. Oh, you going to go to a nice steakhouse? Nah. I was thinking about getting the 20-piece. Sometimes I usually get like the 5-piece from McDonald's, but I'm really going to go above and beyond. I'm going to get the 20-piece with a big basket of fries. And I'm going to treat myself to a large drink, all for $10.11. Y'all are not moving out here like y'all say y'all are. Y'all are not doing it like y'all say y'all are. And men know that. That's why they're flying overseas, to find somebody that they actually like and somebody that actually likes them back.